Welcome back again for episode 5 of Rip Returns Super Mario Bros., a series where I go back to a game that I couldn't beat as a kid to see if I can beat it now that I'm a big fancy grown-up who's done all sorts of impressive gaming things. The answer is, well, not great. But we're going to try our best anyway. And it's not a completely lawless procedure either. Let's check out the rules to this endeavor real quick. Rule 1 is to know my limits. I'm gonna fail a lot, and I have to know that that is just part of the process. There are skills that have to be reacquired, and reacquiring those skills will involve failure. So I need to not be discouraged. Rule 2 is to earn my warps. You'll notice that I don't warp in this video, and the reason is that, like I said before, there are skills that I have to reacquire, and warping ahead can deny me some of those skill learning opportunities. Sure, it may be a bit tedious to get through levels 1-1 and 1-2 again and again and again, but every time I do it successfully, I haven't failed, and that does kind of count for something. Rule 3 is to let it happen. I need to not get discouraged to the point that I reset or, yeet myself off of a cliff and call it a strategic death. Anything that happens, good or bad, is still valuable in terms of skill and knowledge, so I need to just let all of those things happen and be happy for them. And that's the rules out of the way, so let's go ahead and click on to episode 5, to tip the turtle, ? And why do I say ? Well, you'll see. For now, though, we are going to do some fast forwarding. Sure, I have to play through it, but that doesn't mean you have to watch it. So I'm going to click this bad boy up to 500, and we're just going to blast through until something interesting happens, which is going to take just a little bit of a while. Okay, I've put it back down to 100% speed, so you know what that means. Time for the bloodbath to begin. Not necessarily that it's going to be a bloodbath, but I mean, come on, let's be honest about things here. And of course, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that I am going back to regular speed when it comes to the water level, which, as I've expressed before, is not exactly my favorite part of the game. Even though I have the mighty fire flower, which should, trivialize 90% of this thing for me. But even if it's 90% trivialized, that doesn't mean that the last 10% isn't a brutal agony gauntlet that will destroy my soul and spirit. If those are different things, are they? I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. Anywho, looks like this is where the death's gonna come up, because, come on, this is as trappy as it gets, and I could just wait, don't go up, don't go up, don't go up. Wow, that's even worse than I would have expected. Okay. But we should clear through the level here this time. We are halfway. And maybe I won't do anything stupid. I could even get out of here with close to another life. And 100, there it is, an extra life for my stupidity, so I got back what I've lost. Really, I guess the big problem with this level is, usually you would think a water level, the problem with it is that it's got different movements, so it throws you off your game. And maybe that is in part the case, but frankly, I think the biggest part of the problem is that having the ability to swim makes you forget that there are times when you should just get down and walk. You don't even have to run. The bloopers literally can't hit you if you squat down on the bottom. That's just not how they work. So maybe it's not so much that it takes your movement away from you, is that it does let you keep some of your movement. You just have to be smart enough to use it. We'll have to keep our eyes out for any fish-related nonsense on our way through here. Well, that was close. That was pathetic. But by fish-related nonsense, I mean, will anybody hit our feet? Will there be any foot-related fish nonsense this time? Because frankly, I'm getting a little tired of trying to figure out how the Cheep Cheeps actually do work. Come on. Oh, that was a really sloppy jump. Oh, there you go. Cheep Cheep on the feet. Cheep Cheep on the feet. For some reason, sometimes it kills you and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what the rules are. I probably never will. Somebody smart could probably explain it to me in, you know, like 2 seconds. Not that I would understand, but it's probably a very basic and simple explanation. See, that one, I was coming down that time, I guess, so that's actually part of it. Oh, that one I was definitely standing still, and I killed the Cheep Cheep. Maybe I'm Big Mario, so that makes the difference. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Wow. Anyway, I don't know. Should probably pretty much be the theme of this entire video, but we'll get to that later. Well, I guess we're constantly getting to it, actually, aren't we? I'd say I don't know again, but we've covered that. Okay, castle time. Let's see if I can find some success this time around, and the castle that I claim is easier than Castle 1-4. I immediately kill myself, but I don't give you the satisfaction of putting up that number. So that's something, I guess. And we'll take another stab at the level that I continue to contend is the easiest of the castles. I mean, possibly you could say that World 4 has the easiest castle, because aside from the maze, there's just nothing going on in there. But frankly, if anything, I find the World 4 castle a little underbaked because it doesn't even have a power-up, and that just seems mean. I mean, a pity power-up. You saw the slide duck there, but a pity power-up. Oof. Yep, that's big oof energy. A pity power-up would be nice in World 4, but that's not the important part. The important part is I borked it again, and since I've been doing so poorly, I decided I'm going to just race on through and take another stab, gain a little more experience. So I'll let you catch up with me on the other side of the misery. Okay, we're going to slow it down here because, well, I mean, you're going to be able to guess why. Let's look for the exact moment. Oh, right there. Did Mario hit him? Was he coming down? Was Mario standing and the fish came up to greet him? I have no idea what's going on. It's a complete and total mystery to me. This game is a mystery wrapped in enigma, wrapped in a, I don't know, what was it? A large gold brick wrapped with a lemon. It's a mess. It's a mess, but we're out of that nightmare now and into the lava. Sweet mercy, May McGillicuddy. Okay. Let's just cruise on through the level. Everything's nice and sweet. Keep it sweet, Mario. Get your mushroom. There you go, buddy boy. See, this actually feels like it should be a maze because it's got the two paths, but it's the only, it's a maze of suffering, not a maze of misdirection. So I guess that's something. Tricky little jump there. Some friendly coins. Dodge some fire. Remember, the fire hitboxes are really weird, especially on the back end. It's a lot more generous than you would think. And jump onto Bowser, jump over the Bowser. Thank you, Mr. Son of Gloin. And, well, I guess we'll just have to head on off to World 3. Whee! Okay, here we go again. Can we avoid the mistakes of the past? Yes, we can. Very well done. You can Paracupa yourself straight up my butt. No, you know what? Let's not do that. Anyway, back on to the level 3 grind. Okay, we should probably take a second and talk about that. Yes, that was an intentional death. The reason for it was that I have always dreamed of being able to make that magical one-up trick happen, and I've never done it. But I also know that it's probably the fastest way for me to actually accomplish my goal of beating this friggin' game. So, I decided on the spur of the moment, what to hey, let's just do it. Let's take another shot and see if we can't get it figured out. Good idea? Probably not. But personally, I think it kind of falls within the purview of expanding my skill set and knowing my limits, in that I'm acknowledging that I'm not good enough to beat the game as it is now, and having more lives could only help. However, it's not the kind of strategy that's really going to pay off. I admit that too. Let's move on. You can really see that I'm losing my fear of the Hammer Brothers now that I've finally started to figure out their patterns. You would figure that I would be able to figure that out a bit earlier in my life than, in my early 40s. But hey, maybe I needed to Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring before I managed to figure out how to figure out a pattern in a friggin' game. Frankly, I'm still not very good at it when it comes to Mega Man games. In fact, I'm so bad at Mega Man games even now that I don't plan to do any Mega Man games on this series, because the only one I can beat with any regularity is Mega Man X. And the other ones I'm so miserably bad at, I don't really want to play them. They also weren't the biggest factor in my childhood outside of the Super Nintendo X games, because they were so hard I didn't even want to play them. And here you see I am taking more shots at Tippin the Turtle. And right there, I think about going back and killing myself, but I've scrolled the opportunity off the screen so I don't. I have very conflicting feelings about how I should approach this, and you will see how I decide to approach the turtle tipping conundrum. I'm told it's called turtle tipping. That's what the internet says. But you will see how I approach the question of whether or not I should be trying to pull that off as we go into later videos. I think my solution's okay. Frankly, I should probably just wash my hands of the whole thing and try to do it 100% straight up. But I don't want to be a complete stickler. I still want to try to have some fun, and it would be super totes swaggy much to get that trick even once. So I'm going to keep trying it from time to time at least. And it's not like 3-1 is the only place you can do it. I believe you can also do it in Worlds 5 and 6 in different spots that are a little more challenging and less advantageous because, you know, you are so much further into the game. But it just feels like something you have to try to do. So I want to be part of that effort. Well, that death was something else. Oh, anyway, while we're here, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about pathing, or rather, trying to optimize and implement better paths through levels for me. You'll see in this one, I am missing several things, like there's a 10 coin block up there, and you saw that I hit the vine and then missed it, but that vine is actually something I don't want to take in this level because that is the World 5 warp. It does lead up to a little coin area, but it's not like a regular coin heaven. And then after that is the World 5 pipe, and then at the end of this level are the 6, 7, and 8 pipes. At this point, I am just beginning to get an idea of where I want to be going in levels in these, mid-tier worlds. I guess mid-tiers are not really the way to put it, these mid-game worlds. Obviously, the biggest thing that I'm going to want to avoid is going to pop up in 5.2, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But, determining the ideal path to take through these levels is something that is going to take a while for me to sort out, and is something that I am going to do with help from the video series that I've mentioned a couple times, You Can Beat Video Games, on YouTube. I should put a link to that in the description, shouldn't I? Anyway, helpful videos, fun videos, and just something to keep in mind as we go through the next several of these videos is how I try to put together and optimize a best practice strategy for getting through some of this. Alright, let's talk 4-4. We're right at the midpoint of the game now, and we're at a level that is going to really start to change up how we approach the dungeons. This one is not particularly lethal. In fact, it's kind of chill outside of its minor maze mechanic. But from here on up, the game really does step things up in intensity. The thing about this world is that it is really very, very chill. I mean, sure, it's got a new wrinkle, but it throws the new wrinkle at you in an incredibly approachable way. And really, if you take a death like that in this very chill world, it's just your own fault, obviously. But it's also just desperately unnecessary. Because this level is really, I think, just there to teach you that there's something that's going to be happening in a few levels, or a few boss levels further on, to be aware of. I don't know how many times this, really messed people up while in their playthroughs. Wow, that's twice on that fireball. That's impressive. Anyway, I don't know how many times this level messed people up, but I'm sure it did plenty. Here I go, taking the wrong route like an idiot again. I think I'm looking for... Yeah, I'm trying to find a 1-up, or not a 1-up, a power-up of some kind hidden in here, because it does really stink that there's just no power-ups here. I guess because they knew it was just that sedate of a level. But, really, getting to 4-4, 4-4 should just be a gimme. It just absolutely should not be a 2-death level. So that's, when I talk about needing to grow, needing to acquire experience and skills, that is exactly the kind of experience and skill base that I need to be working on. It's time to talk a little more path optimization. You saw that I had some interesting things going on in the last level. You know, I knew where the 1-up was supposed to be, and I got the coin pipe, so those are things that I've got down locked. This level, of course, with the Hammer Brother on the stairs and the pipe here in a minute, offers its own challenges. Excellent bop of the Hammer Brother there, but I just completely blow it by going into the pipe. Now, I didn't die the last time I went into this pipe, so it's not the worst thing in the world. However, as far as, the cost-benefit analysis of going into this pipe, trying to maintain a power-up, which I didn't, in exchange for a fairly meager haul of coins, it's just not worth it. It does get you through a little bit of the level, but frankly, I think the damage potential is just way too high. So I'd be better off if I didn't go in there. And that's exactly the type of path optimization that I need to worry about. And, making sure I get the dang mushroom. Hey, at least I didn't kill myself on that Koopa. That's something. This is a tricky little scenario here. I mean, there is a backup mushroom, so that's nice. But this is a tricky little scenario here, trying to decide whether you want to go high or low. And this right here is another potential 1-up opportunity that I'm not close to being able to capitalize upon. So those are little things that I can potentially tweak and optimize if I feel like it and if I remember. Five, 4, I think we all remember what that means. 5-4 means a big old bar. So let's see how I do today. And I'm going, and I'm failing. Yeah. I swear, I really do figure out the big bar eventually. I figure out the whole bar business. I become bar-wise, I guess you could say. Bar-educated. I don't know, makes it sound like I'm trying to fake being a lawyer. I don't know, but the long and short of the story is that the fire bars have had me here, and they're gonna take me home. 77 deaths, and this run is over. See you next time, folks. Bye.